Hi, Alex here from Rebeloper.com and welcome back to the channel and welcome to this new tutorial on how to create corner radiuses with shadows on your UI views, UI buttons and UI image views in Swift 5. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay, let me just show you what we are going to build out today, and this is my testing project. And as you can see, we usually, and I believe that you already know this, how to add a corner radius to your image views. We are going to start off with views and to add some shadows, but once you try to add both to your views, image views, UI buttons, it is kind of not working as expected. So today I'm going to demystify this and show you how easy it is to do it. Okay, now one thing that you need to do before we get started is click the link down below and just subscribe to the resources for my YouTube channel. You will get all of the resources once you are in, and download this corner radius with shadow resources folder, and inside you will see a New York City image, the skyline. We were recently in New York City and I really loved it, and you can see a root view controller with the starter setup. Okay, now this project uses tiny constraints, but if you don't really like tiny constraints, then you can take a look at DocUI, and let me just navigate there. So let's see here. Let's close all of this if it's possible. So you can take a look at my repository DocUI that also has these kind of elements in there, besides many other things. Okay, I will cover DocUI in later tutorial series. So let's close this and start off with a brand new project. So file, a new project. And let's see, I will choose my single view application again, how to create a custom xcode project template. You can find the link down below in the description. So let's click on next here and let's see. I will name this SC, or rather yet shadow with corner radius in Swift 5. I am going to call the custom class that I'm going to create SC from shadow and corner. So corner, there we go. Corner radius in Swift 5. I won't embed it in the navigation controller. This is perfectly fine for us. So let's click on next and let's select where we want to drop this. And I will create a Git repository on my Mac because I will push it up to GitHub so you can take a look at it later on. Okay, first thing we need to do is close this because we want to import tiny constraints here. So let's see, code. There we go, we have our root folder. Let's open up terminal, type in cd and a space, drag and drop the root folder, type in pod init. I'm going really fast here because you already know the drill. Just drag and drop the pod file onto your xcode icon, delete this and add iOS 12, and let's add pod tiny constraints. There we go. Let's close this and go back to the terminal, type in pod install, and this will install the required dependency, and that is tiny constraints. Now let's open up our project, and from now on we are going to open up the workspace, and let me just resize this so you can see all of what I'm typing here. And you can see that we have tiny constraints here under the pods file. That is awesome. And here we have our root view controller. That is an empty view controller. So let's first of all delete this. So let's move to trash and just simply drag and drop the resource that I gave you. That is the starter project. Okay, let's add that in there. Make sure copy item is needed is checked, create groups is checked, and the target is also checked. Okay, and we will take a look at it in just a moment. One last thing we need to add is our asset. Just simply drag and drop it into your assets catalog. There we go, and we are ready to start working on this. So let's select one of our simulators and let's hit Command R, or just hit this arrow so we can build and run. So let's see. Oh, I need to change this. No worries, you won't have this error when you download your resource. So Command R again, so we can see that build has succeeded. And yeah, let's see, what do we have here? Well, we have 4 views, and each of them has a background color of blue. And this is our setup views. We are setting the background color to be white, adding the 4 views and anchoring all of them. Now down here I have created some extensions, and the first one is corners and the second one is shadow. I believe you already know what I'm talking about. We are setting the corner radius of our UI view, and I have created this discardable result function, and what this basically means is that it could return a UI view, but if it doesn't, then it's okay. So you are not obliged to use that UI view when you create this, when you use this corners function on a UI view. So that's why we are returning self here, and it could be discardable. I will just show you what this means in just a moment. Okay, and these are just plain old things that you already know. We set the views, layers, corner radius to the radius that we will add it, and of course set the layers mask to bounds to true, because yeah, that's how we will see our corner radius take effect. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go back to our view did load, and let's select view 1 and corner radius set to, let's say, 50. So let's hit Command R and see how that looks. Okay, pretty nice, pretty straightforward. You already know the drill. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the other discardable result function, and that is for the shadow. So pretty basic stuff. We are setting the shadow radius, color, offset, and opacity. Okay, and we are returning a UI view. So let's grab our second view here and add in here a shadow. And the radius should be, let's say, 5, color, let's say black, offset, CG size, and I will offset it to 15 width and 15 height. You most probably don't want that in your apps, but yeah, just to see that the shadow is already there. And the opacity is 0.5. So let's hit that play button again and see how that takes effect. There we go, we have our shadow, pretty nice. Now, one cool stuff about discardable result functions is that we can chain them together. So let's see here, view 3 and corner radius 15. And we add a dot here, and we can use another one, so shadow. And as you can see, it is returning again a UI view. And the corners function is also returning a UI view. So that is why I can use this shadow radius, color, offset, opacity extension that is of extension of UI view on this view 3. So let me just copy this out so I don't have to type a lot. Okay, and yeah, this is just basically adding all of those properties to that view 3. But we will have a problem, and yeah, the corner radius is not there, and we kind of struggle by googling around, and the issue here is that we set the layer mask to bounce to true on the corners radius because we want to see the radius. So let's comment that out and build and run again, and now we should see the shadow radius. So it's kind of excluding one thing of another. So yeah, that is what we see here, but I believe we already saw the shadow radius, so never mind that. But the issue here is with this. It is masking to the bounds of the layer. So with shadows, it's kind of outside the bounds of the view, so it's not showing it basically. So to the rescue comes new classes, and this is called FCView. You may change it later on if you wanted to. But here we just simply add our radius for the shadow, of course. SC means shadow corner radius. Yeah, I just made that up. Color, offset, opacity, and the corner radius. So the radius of the shadow is first, and last is the corner radius. So let me just copy some things out, and I will start off with the shadow. So let's see, I will just copy and paste all of this up. Of course, you need to set super init and this required initializer just to make sure. Now we could use here self, but let's omit this because we are already in a UI view. So what you need to do is hit Alt and select all of these and just hit Backspace. Cool stuff, eh? And now what we might want to do is select the ones from the corners and add them there, and oh, not there, sorry about that, a little bit further down, and do the same old thing. Alt and select and delete. Now basically we did the same thing here. So what changes? Well, first of all, we need to set this to false because yeah, we don't want to omit the shadow. And one cool trick here is that you want to add is the clips to bounce set to true. And believe it or not, that is all you have to do. So let's use this FCView instead of our UI view. And while we are at it, I'm just going to delete all of this so it will not take effect. And the view free should be an SCView. Okay, and now when we initialize it, we select SCView, but there we go. It is compiling, and radius should be 5, color dot black, offset, CG size again of width and height 15. There we go. Opacity 0.5 and corner radius 50. Okay, so let's see how that looks. So let's hit Command R and take a look at view number 3. And there we go. Here we have our corner radius, and maybe we should add in some more corner radius. Oh, one thing that we kind of omitted by copy and pasting, and I already had that figured out. So you can see that the corner radius is kind of small, and that is because we are setting the layer's corner radius to the radius that we add in here, and that is not what we want. We want the corner radius. So let's hit Command R again, and now we should see the corner radius set to the actual 15 that we added here. Okay, let's see. Pretty nice. Okay, now that is that. But what about UI image views? Well, with UI image views it's kind of strange because there is a content mode, and if you don't set the content mode right, well, you always want to set the content mode to, let's say, scale aspect fill, then this will not work. We need to add some more code here. So let's scroll all the way down and see our SC image view. And what you basically want to do is copy all of this out because that is still valid. Okay, let's paste it in there. And now you can see that I already added here an image view because we want to insert an image view. We want to add image view on top of the view that we are creating. And as you can see, this SCImageView is basically a UI view. So let's do that. And let's see, add subview image view. And because we are using tiny constraints, we can set the image view to edges to super view. Now, if you don't use tiny constraints, that is perfectly fine. You can anchor this to the views, and this is the view, to the top, bottom, and the left anchors. Okay, so you could do that. This is just the convenience for me. If you take a look at the code inside DocUI, you will see a more elaborate anchoring. So I'm not using tiny constraints there, obviously, because maybe we want to remove tiny constraints or you don't want to use them. Okay, so let's build and run and see. Let's select our, let's set our image view, and I will choose again view number 3. So let's see, view number 3, and this should be a SCImageView. Let's paste that in there. And what we want to add in here is an image view. Okay, and yeah, we want to construct our image view. So let image view equals UIImageView, and with an image, and I will choose the image that I have added to ours. So not Command N, but Command Shift M to bring up the media library, and just simply drag and drop your image right there. And after a few seconds, it should be right there. Okay, just double tap on it so you don't get that crash that usually happens with adding this from the media library. Okay, and what else do we want? Well, we want to, let's see, let's just add this image view here and see what we got. Okay, let's hit Command R or build and run. What do we have here? Maybe some, oh, we don't want to add an image view because we have that underscore in the function name. So image view is plain there. Okay, well, this is not what we want, and we added our corner radius. So what we want to add in here is maybe some scale aspect fill. Rather, let's just not use scale aspect fill, just fix this problem. And for that, we just need to scroll down and add a few properties when we are creating our image view. And that is pretty simple. We want to set the image view's layer corner radius to the corner radius of our view, of course, that we have also added in here. And one final thing is we want to set the image view clips to bounds again to true. There we go. And this should fix it. Okay, let's see how this looks like. Okay, pretty awesome. And of course, if you wanted to, you could just scroll all the way up here and customize your image views, and you can set content mode and so on. I want to do this right now. So just to finish this all of up, I want to show you one final thing, and that is how to create a button. So let's just scroll all the way down because that is our final class. And what I'm going to do is just simply copy all of this out because it's kind of the same, but with a UI button. As you can see here, we have our button, and let me just replace image view everywhere here. Okay, we are adding it and we are adding it to our super view. And yeah, that is basically it. Let's just go all the way up here and let's create view for, let's just change this to SC and button view. And when we initialize it, let's see, SC button view, and there we go. we have our button. So let's create that first. Let button equals UI button. And the cool part here is that you can create any type of button. So let's just simply add in here a title. So set title. And I will add in here tap me for the control state of normal. There we go. And I am just going to add in here our button. Radius, again 5, color dot black. Again, this is for the shadow. The offset CG size with a width of height of 15 again, and opacity 0.5, and the corner radius of 15. Okay, now you might want to change this if you wanted to. So let's hit Command R or just hit the play button there, and we should see our rounded corners for the button and with the shadow. Of course, this is ugly as I don't want to pronounce that, but you can tweak it if you wanted to. And finally, you want to add some targets, so make sure you add it to the button that you created in the initialization of our view force. So add target, because of course this button down below, this button is not accessible in this SC button view. Well, we could create it as accessible, but that is for another lesson. So make sure that you add your target here if you wanted to. Let's just create this real fast, because I believe that why not? Action, let's say bound selector and button tabbed. There we go. And touch up inside. There we go. We need to create our Objective-C button tabbed function here. So file private at Objective-C func button tabbed. There we go. And let's just print out. Let's see, tabbed. Okay, let's hit Command R. Oh, we need to add the Objective-C in front of the file private. Sorry about that. Let's see. And that should be okay. Oh, we need to initialize it. Hurrying. Okay, and that will conclude our tutorial for today. As you can see, it's tabbed here, 3 taps. And that is so awesome. Now you can have any kind of view basically with a rounded corner and shadow. And that is it for me today. If you did like this video, and I hope you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't done so, and hit that notification bell to get notified of new videos as they do come out. Now it is your turn. Do you have any ideas of how to do this differently? Because yeah, adding another view inside our hierarchy is kind of not that good, but that is how I came up with it, and it works really well. So go ahead and comment down below what is your opinion on this. And as usual, I will see you in the next one.